Hello, bonjour and welcome to your new Bonheur Private Wines video. Today I want to give you a couple of news from the wine world that I came across over the summer and that I found really interesting to look at. Did you know that France has too much wine and it's going to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to destroy it? Yes, it sounds crazy, but let's explain. After this, we'll have a quick look at the 2023 vintage coming up very soon, the harvesters. We'll look at the conditions so far. Let's go. The world produces on average about 25 billion liters of wine every year. So that's about 33 to 35 billion bottles. That's a lot of wine indeed. And France alone, which is the second biggest producer after Italy, puts out about 6 billion bottles by itself. And well, it's just a little too much. A few media outlets reported a few days ago that France is about to spend $216 million to destroy 80 million gallons of wine, or the equivalent of about 400 million bottles. They could give a free bottle of wine to every American citizen with this amount, probably even 2 bottles if you only counted those above drinking age, probably 10 bottles if you'd only count those who actually drink wine, like you. And with this money, they could probably ship it to your door as well. But I'm afraid it won't happen that way. They're simply going to distill this wine in mass for other uses like perfumery, pharmaceuticals, or even probably use some of it as an additive for powering cars. So why would France do that? Well, you see, the global wine consumption has decreased further and further over the past few years and even decades. It's not a new phenomenon. Famously, the French were drinking up to 140 liters of wine per year, or nearly 200 bottles per year, and that was before World War II, and it's only 40 liters on average now in France. But around the world also, wine consumption has been declining, more health concerns, more road safety awareness, more competitions from wine alternatives, light beers, all sorts of cocktails and flavored drinks, especially aimed at younger generations, all of that. More competition, fewer people drink much wine these days, so France has too much of it. And rather than letting the global wine prices plummet, which would hurt our producers dramatically and probably bankrupt many of them, while the European Union and the French government subsidize the destruction of the oversupply. In other words, it's better to destroy millions of gallons of cheap, bad, leftover wine, if you wish, that no one would drink, than hurt the whole industry with very low prices and allow small, passionate producers to die. It sounds crazy, but on a macroeconomic scale, well, it's justified. A second brief piece of worldwide news. It is still a little early to tell you how the vintage 2023 will be. Harvest is just underway at the end of August now. Most wineries are still to pick most of their grapes, make the wine, ferment it, etc. But before we'll actually know, before a quick update on Northern California in particular, it was reported a couple of weeks ago that Napa and Sonoma were experiencing a rather cool vintage conditions, a cool summer in particular, cooler than usual, and therefore forecasting a later than usual harvest, which could lead to a great quality of wine, as cooler weather conditions allow for wines with more acidity, fresher fruit flavors and finer tannins, while the extreme heats previous years have brought had tended to overcook, the grapes over-ripened in, so they're a bit too flavy, ripening too quick, too fast. Well, not this year, apparently. In Europe, vine growers seem happy as well overall. Some local problems, they always have heat waves, localized droughts, hailstorms, important vine disease pressures in some areas like Bordeaux, the usual stuff nowadays with global warming. But overall, looking good so far. Some spots are, have been affected by small stuff. But overall, strong production levels are expected. Really good quality is anticipated on the old continent. I will give you an update on the 2003 vintage forecast when we know a little bit more how it will end, because it's just the beginning. For now, I'll let you know about the quality in different areas. But that was it for me today. A quick wine news update, and I will see you soon in the wonderful world of wine. Cheers.